Since the beginning of baseball, teams believed that the leadoff hitter should be the fastest player on the field. They would hit for high averages and then steal lots of bases to get into scoring position for the team's big sluggers. However, baseball has changed, and we're now seeing teams bat guys leadoff with sub-200 averages who are also the slowest players on their team. This is aggravating baseball fans across America since it's unusual, but what if I told you that speed and average don't matter for the leadoff hitter? In the modern game, teams are getting smarter and optimizing their lineups to the perfect combination. The proper lineup can gain you an extra 10 to 20 runs per year. This can be the difference in losing a one-run game or the difference from being a playoff team to just barely falling short. The stakes are high and teams are researching the perfect combination instead of just randomly ordering the players.
In the American League this year, Aaron Judge is a leadoff guy. We got the NL home run king, Kyle Schwarber. He's a leadoff guy. What has happened to this spot?
This leads to the main character of our story, Kyle Schwarber. In 2015 through 19, the Chicago Cubs, managed by Joe Maddon, unleashed some rather unusual lineups. They would bat their pitchers sometimes 8th instead of 9th, put guys with no power in the 4-hole, and put guys with no speed lead off. Over this span, guys like Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant, and most notoriously, Kyle Schwarber led off games. This raised controversy among fans, but led to the evolution of the leadoff spot. Teams across baseball began to copy this approach and change the stigma around the leadoff spot. Old managers were told that batting average and speed are the two most important factors for leadoff hitters, but that's not true. The statistics say that the leadoff spot is one of the most important spots for hitters. Of course, the leadoff spot sees the most plate appearances out of any spot in the batting order. In addition, expected runs for the leadoff hitter is the highest, as well as runs created per game, so it's most logical to place the batter who gets on base the most there. Having the batter who gets on base the most hit first leads to way more outcomes and can certainly extend the game to allow for more at-bats for the rest of the team. This, over the course of a full season, leads to more runs and more wins. The book Playing the Percentages in Baseball crunched the data on lineup order optimization by using many factors. They were ultimately able to rank the batting order spots by leverage value, or in other words, how costly making an out is by each lineup position. The results in the book concluded that the most important spots in chronological order are 1, 4, 2, 5, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. The data here again is emphasizing getting your best players in the leadoff spot. 2018 in MLB was the breakout year where we saw multiple teams across the league doing this. Over the course of the last 5 years, home run and strikeout rates are way up. With the increase in home run and strikeout rates, there's a correlation to the value of steals and base runner positioning decreasing. Many teams are batting power guys 1, 2, and 3, and the need for the first guy to be fast is just not as important anymore if they're followed by power hitters. A fast guy with a low on-base percentage is more valuable in front of contact singles hitters, which in recent times are more likely found later in the lineup. For that reason, the Cardinals started hitting Matt Carpenter leadoff since he possessed the highest on-base percentage on the team, despite lackluster speed. At that time, Jesse Winker started to lead off since he had a high on-base percentage, around .4, even though he only had one career stolen base up to that point. In 2018, Winker even led off a few games over Billy Hamilton, who was considered the fastest man in baseball, and this was simply due to the fact that Winker got on base way more. In the following years, we saw more hitters with high on-base percentage and slow speed batting leadoff. Guys like Carlos Santana and Luis Arias frequently were leadoff hitters with little to no speed. But this was less criticized because they got on base and did not strike out a ton. Even Daniel Vogelbach, of all people, led off 6 games. This is the last person you'd expect to steal a base. Why would anyone bat this slow guy at leadoff? Well, he gets on base. His stint as a leadoff hitter was short-lived, but it was in the midst of a new trend in baseball where we started to see slow hitters who were 3-outcome guys bat leadoff. A 3-outcome hitter is a hitter who normally only has 3 outcomes: home run, strikeout, or walk. Fans across baseball hated having these guys in the leadoff spot since they would hit for power with no one on base for them. However, the numbers showed again that this could work. Expected runs plus RBIs is the third highest for the leadoff hitter, so they still have valuable RBI opportunities and have just as much of a chance to contribute runs in a game as the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. And, after all, the leadoff hitter is only leadoff once per game. Later in the game, they could be up with the bases loaded. You never know. In addition, starting off the game with a pure power hitter can result in more walks. The pitcher knows they have to pitch around this guy, since one mistake could end up in a 1-0 start to the game. If they walk the first batter, now they need to throw over the plate for the next hitters up, and this could lead to mistakes. Early on, pitchers are trying to get their rhythm down, and having a 40 home run guy as the first task can completely rattle them. A huge example of a 3-outcome hitter that batted leadoff was Jorge Soler in 2021. In 2021, the Braves lost Ronald Acuna for the season. This led to them not having as much speed in their order. They could have put Ozzie Albies or Dansby Swanson, the 2 next fastest guys on the team, leadoff, but Jorge Soler has an on-base percentage 40 points higher than both of them. The Braves knew Soler saw many pitches, walked a ton, and could be a great way to set the tone. The Braves batted Jorge Soler leadoff throughout the postseason, and the rest is history.
Swinging strikes and not balls. Here's one slammed into left field. How about that start to the World Series? Soler will take the trip. 1 pitch. Driven in the air to left. Back at the wall. It is gone! Back to back! Braves take the lead. 3-2.
Soler helped lead the Braves to winning the World Series, while also being World Series MVP. The decision to bat him leadoff was never questioned again. The most polarizing leadoff hitter of all time might be Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber is nothing like the stereotypical leadoff guy. He's slow and unathletic. This season, he has a 197 batting average, has the most strikeouts in MLB, and is second in home runs. This is a player you normally see hitting in the middle of the lineup, not first. And let's just say many fans don't like it. But Kyle Schwarber may have some qualities that make him one of the best leadoff hitters you could ask for. Schwarber sees 4.26 pitches per at-bat, which is 6th best in MLB, and best on the Phillies. Schwarber also has the 2nd best on-base percentage on the Phillies at .345. This more than makes up for his bad batting average. For comparison, Bryson Stott has a .280 batting average, almost 100 points higher than Schwarber's, but Schwarber has an on-base percentage 14 points higher. It may not look pretty, but the numbers don't lie. Schwarber gets on base. His ability to work the pitcher and draw walks sets the tone for the perfect leadoff hitter. He is then followed by big sluggers such as Trey Turner and Bryce Harper, who pitchers have to pitch to now. And oh yeah, Schwarber hits a lot of home runs, and there is no better way to maximize these than by giving him the most at-bats on the team. Let's look at this in action. In the 2022 World Series, Schwarber starts off the game by working a great at-bat against Lance McMullers, who didn't want to throw him anything he could hit out of the park, so he takes the walk. He's on base and extends the inning for Bryce Harper, who then drills a 2-out home run. Then Schwarber hits this monster home run, putting the Phillies up 6-0 and making him responsible for 3 of the Phillies' 7 runs in this game.
Schwarber flies it to center field. McCormick's going back. He's at the track. He's at the wall. Gone!
Schwarber at the plate this game gave the Phillies a 7.7% win probability increase and helped lead them to a huge win. Or how about this year in the NLCS? Arizona at this point is the hottest team in baseball, ready to roll through the Phillies. But Schwarber steps up to the plate, and the first pitch of the game, he sets the tone.
Here, Kyle Schwarber ready to lead off. Ball swinging, and there it goes! An ambush by Schwarber.
This leadoff home run gave Kyle Schwarber the MLB postseason record for most leadoff home runs, with 4. Schwarber went on to hit 2 home runs the next game to steal the momentum of the series and put the Phillies up 2-0 in the series. Schwarber might not be your average leadoff hitter, but he knows his role of being a modern-day leadoff hitter and embraces it. Years ago, a guy like Trey Turner would be a no-brainer leadoff man for the Phillies. He hits around 300 with 30 steals each year. Everything about Trey Turner screams leadoff hitter, but Schwarber is actually the better option. Overall, he's a better hitter than Trey Turner in all major statistics except batting average. But most importantly, Schwarber has a better on-base percentage. The most valuable batting order spot is leadoff, and with steals mattering less in a Phillies lineup who scores a large portion of their runs off the long ball, the most important factor for the Phillies leadoff hitter is getting on base and having valuable at-bats, not stealing bags. Trey Turner this year was 30 for 30 on steals with increased bag sizes. I believe he could have had more steals if he wanted, but the Phillies know it's not worth the risk to steal a ton of bases in their lineup full of power hitters. Turner could have been an amazing leadoff hitter on another team, but for what the Phillies need, Schwarber is the better option. There are skill roles for everyone, and that's what makes baseball great. What works for one team might not make the most sense for another. Leadoff hitters come in all shapes and sizes. Ronald Acuna, the frontrunner for MVP in the NL, stole 73 bases this year. He's a leadoff hitter, and an amazing one. The main reason he's a great leadoff hitter is because he's first in the MLB in on-base percentage. Having the ability to steal bases is a great bonus, but it's just the cherry on top for a leadoff hitter. What was important in the past is drifting away, and the new era is beginning. Instead of just looking at speed and batting average, it is smarter to view the whole situation. Each team is different, but for the Phillies, Kyle Schwarber is the best option to bat leadoff. Please consider subscribing.